You won't believe how awesome this is. All right, we're going on a road trip next week, so we need some more space in our van since we're now a family of 7. So I bought a cargo carrier to put on the top to see if that will help. So I'm gonna unbox this cargo carrier. You can follow along with me and we'll see what it looks like. And then I'm gonna go through the process to install it on top of the van and see how it works. I did some research on ChatGPT and it gave me some good options to consider. Originally, I was going to get some rails to put on top and then crossbars and then either a cargo bag or like a hard top carrier. But when I did the research on it, everything looked pretty pricey, several $100s. Even for the rooftop box, you're looking at probably $500 to $600 or more. If it's the hard top kind like the Thule or the Yakima. And so I decided to try to go the cheaper route right now and just get a cargo carrier that I could put directly on top of the van without any rails or crossbars. And I was excited to find that there's several options that you can get on Amazon. The one that I chose has pretty good ratings, and so I'm going to take you through the process of installing it, and then I'll let you know what I think once we're done. So we have a 2016 Honda Odyssey, and I made sure that this particular rooftop carrier fits. And as far as I could tell, it would fit pretty much any car, and you just have to open the doors and then hook it on where the weather strip is. And then you don't need the rails up on top there or the crossbars. All right, let's open this up, see what it looks like. Got to be careful when you're cutting it open so you don't cut the bag. Make sure you only get the edges there. Yeah, that's cool. They put some cardboard there inside to protect it from that. Smart. So this is cool. It comes in a little bag here. I don't know if I would be able to fold it back up and fit it in the bag after I've had it fully expanded, but it's a little looser, so we'll try it later and see how that goes. Is that Meefar or Meetar? I think it's Meefar is the brand. All right, let's pull this out. Feels pretty rigid, pretty slick. It's supposed to be 100% waterproof. So we've got it out of the carrying case. This is what it's supposed to look like. So it looks like we got the instructions here. Sweet. So we'll go through the process to do this. But let's take a look at the bag first. So you can see the straps. There's a little padlock. It's kind of cool. Just to lock things up, like if you go into the gas station or something. This feels really nice. I am actually pretty excited about this. Sweet. So you've got all these straps here that we're going to use. I believe if you have crossbars and top rails, you can use this to hook it around those and then cinch it down. Since we don't have that, we'll do it a different way. All right, so this shows if you already have crossbars, how you can hook it on. So you loop it around the crossbar and then you can tighten those straps. This is cool because you can do it without crossbars and actually hook it onto the rails, the roof rail, with the side straps. Or we're gonna do it on my van without anything. And it's kind of cool because it does have this mat here that you can put on top of your car to prevent scratches. And then we'll lay the bag right on top of that, as you can see in the picture here. And then on this, you can see how they've got the straps around the sidebars there. So you can do it that way. We are going to be just hooking it on to basically the rooftop itself, but you have to open the doors to do it. So let's try this out. Definitely want to take note of what the front is. It's the side with the Meefar logo, and then the side without the zipper should be put to the front side of the vehicle. All right, so here's some tips there that you can read through. Just feel free to pause and kind of run through that if you want to get a feel of what they're suggesting. And then here's the steps here. You can pause it on this as well. But basically what you're doing is just pulling down the weather strip. Then once it's pulled back, you'll just place one of the 4 door hooks on the metal door frame. And then you want to just push the weather stripping back gently. And then you can close the door. And then you'll just want to basically go around the car and do the same thing with the other 3. So you've got all 4 secured to the car. So here's all the hooks. You can see what they look like. So they'll hook on to the side. Then you've got these loops that you can put the straps through. Here's the little padlock. Here's the mat that we'll put on top. So you can see it's a rectangle, so you just want to make sure you put it up on top of the car with, well, basically sideways. So it fits the long roof there. All right, I've got it laid out. I'm keeping it right in line with the sunroof there. I think it should work. So you can see this is made of water resistant material, but they did say in the instructions that there's a chance water could get inside there. So they don't recommend putting anything in there that's too expensive for electronics. So this is pretty cool. Really strong Velcro here. Looks like it's sewn on there pretty well. And then the zipper, you can see, is more water resistant the way they designed it. So that's sweet. This is awesome. These zippers look amazing. I feel like so many times zippers are too small for the use. This is a good size zipper, so I'm hoping that it lasts longer. And then look how cool this is to be able to pull on it. Love it. So far I'm impressed. So you can see the zipper goes all the way around there. I pulled both of them to the side here so I can just zip it up easily. So I'll just stuff everything inside right on this side. So make sure the Meefar logo is towards the front of the vehicle. And there's no zipper here, as you can see. So they say the no zipper side should face the front. So I went ahead and took all the straps and just laid them out like this. And then I'll know exactly where to put the hooks. And there's actually 6. It said 4 in the instructions, but then they give you 6. So I'm gonna use all 6. And then I tried to position it in the center the best I could. And I've got these ready to go as well. So I set mine right against the sunroof here. We usually don't even open it, but I think I want to make sure that it's, I don't know, accessible. So I'm gonna keep it right behind it. All right, so you want to just grab the weather strip here and you're going to pull down on it, and then you can put the hook. So you can see I've got that hooked on, shoved the weather strip over the top. And this actually feels pretty good, nice and tight. All right, so I've got 3 installed on this side. And I just pulled the weather stripping down and then hooked it on and pushed the weather strip back up. Did one here as well. And then you can take this strap, unbuckle it, and loop it through right there. So then once I stuff everything inside it, I'll zip it all up, and then I'll just go around and cinch down each of these 6 straps pretty snug, and it'll kind of pull it down on top of all the gear or luggage that's inside there. And I think it should be good. Once I tighten it on this side and then across on the other side, I think it'll work really well. So you'll just unbuckle this, run it through the loop here, and then snap it. And then you can see you can tighten it down with this right here once everything's in it. So you want to leave it loose until you get the gear in there, since you can stuff quite a bit in there. You just want to have lots of flex. Might even want to just leave it unbuckled while you're shoving everything inside. That's probably what I'll do. And then once it's all in, it'll basically be kind of a big rectangle on top. And I think it'll do really well if it rains. So I'll be sure to get a shot of it with everything in it. All right, this is sweet. I just shut the door to the van. No problem. You can see nice and snug, each one. So I just figured out something cool. I don't want to lose these hooks, so I'm just going to leave them connected to the straps. And then what's cool about that is I can just throw them out of the way, stuff all the gear inside there, and then just grab each of these straps, pull the weather strip down, hook it on under there, and then you can just go around and cinch it tight, all 6 of them. And then when you're done and you want to pack it up, then you can throw it into the middle there and fold this up. One thing you'll want to do is make sure that the back straps here are cinched down as well once you have all the gear in there. So it just keeps it nice and tight and as aerodynamic as possible. So since I'm not ready to put everything into it yet, I just wanted to show you this. I was able to just roll it up, stuff it inside the bag it came with, and that is pretty damn good. If I squish that down, put the lock there, you can cinch it up. I mean, that fit pretty well. So we'll see how it goes after I've had a bunch of gear in it and taken it on a trip, as far as folding it back up and putting it in the storage bag, but I think that is pretty sweet. Got it all packed up and ready to go. Well, it made it on a 12-hour drive to Arizona. Looks like this started to kind of fly out from underneath it. But other than that, it's working great. One of the hardest parts really is just putting the stuff in it and then strapping it down right there with all the straps. It takes a bit to kind of figure them out, but works pretty well. All right, we did it. Made it through another drive home. You can see definitely lots of bug guts, but it did a great job. Only issue I had was that the straps, you do have to tie them down because they do start to make noise when it gets windy. All right, now I'm gonna clean this off and see if I can fold it up and fit it back inside that bag. So I'm just gonna wipe all the bug guts off the front. You see it got a bunch right there. It's not perfect, but it's better. Just folded it in half and then again, and now I'm gonna roll it up and see how that does. I am amazed at how small this goes. So sweet. It totally fits. I folded this up, just wrapped it around it, and just slid it right into the bag. Amazing. I'm seriously impressed because usually it's a lot harder to shove things back into the bags. This was definitely made just right. So now it's small enough that I can just store it on my shelf pretty easily. I mean, man, look at that. That sure beats having to try to store a Thule box or a Yakima storage box. You can just fit it right there with the sleeping bags and pads and everything else. So I am super happy with this cargo carrier, extremely impressed. It did a great job. 12-hour drive to Arizona and back from Utah. And man, it held up great. Worst thing about it is it got a little bit of bug guts on the front that I had to wipe off. And then it did make a little bit of vibration noise occasionally just with some of the straps flapping. But nothing too major. You can just tie them off pretty easily. So highly recommend it. Man, 10 out of 10. Get it. Hope you liked this video. Let me know if you have any questions about how to install it or anything else about the durability of the product. Please like and subscribe for more helpful videos from Dan Good Dad.